Hi, everybody. This is Pankaj Gupta from EthAum Venture Partners. We are a deep tech revenue scaler and fund based in Singapore with approximately 100 startups in the portfolio. These are all AI, ML, blockchain, IoT, robotics, AR, VR startups from different parts of the world, stages, and sectors. Today, we are extremely delighted to have a panel on AI in mobility space. AI is obviously making huge transformations in different industries, and mobility is not untouched. uh, Mobility industry has been going through a lot of transformation, a lot of disruption because of different technologies. We have seen blockchain having a very strong impact on mobility, on supply chain, on logistics. We have seen IoT having very strong impact on the mobility, supply chain, on logistics space. And now we are seeing a lot of improvement because of computer vision technologies or AI technologies. And that's why we are going to have a session on AI in mobility space today with the expert panelists from Turkey, India, and Africa. We have Gönenç with us on the call, who is the moderator of the session today. And he will obviously be sharing about what SmartIR is doing in the mobility space, and he is also a moderator, so he will have difficult time today to make sure that he's asking some interesting questions and getting some interesting insights from the panelist. May I request Erol to do the intro, please? Erol?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pankaj. Good evening from Istanbul to everyone, actually, because it is almost 6 o'clock in Istanbul. But I don't know what is the time at your side for our audiences, but greetings from Istanbul to all of them. Pankaj, actually, I've been working for Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, Group Head of Technology, because Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality is a large organization like Istanbul, because Istanbul has almost 20 million population, and Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, I will make an abbreviations IMM, if you don't mind. IMM has almost 100,000 employees. So this is the hugest local governmental organization of Turkey. And we have 32 subsidiary companies, and I am in charge of technologies for all group subsidiary companies. One more time, hello to everyone.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Erol. Really appreciate your time, especially on Friday evening. I hope your family is okay with that. They are not going to hate me for this.
I'm with my dogs. If someone hears some barkings, so it's coming from them. I'm so sorry for that.
That's perfectly all right. Sana, may I request you to do an intro, please?
Sure. Thank you, Pankaj. First of all, I really thank EthAum Ventures for inviting me into this session. I'm really delighted and thrilled to be a part of this session where I can learn and contribute with all the experts in this industry. So I currently work as a program manager where I closely work with the team that builds self-driving vehicle. So any questions related to the disruption in that segment, feel free to shoot. No barriers there, no questions asked, no judgments taken. And I have been associated with Google Maps also in the before, where we have seen the disruption in the mobility market, especially in the micro mobility space. So I am closely connected to the mobility industry, given my previous experience, and really looking forward to this session. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sana. So you really know how to pick the right companies at the right times. That's fantastic. Thanks a lot, Sana, again. Stefan, please.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Steven, and I'm calling in from Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm the founder and CEO of Logitrack. Logitrack is an e-logistics platform that we use artificial intelligence to aggregate third-party truck owners and connect them to B2B and B2C businesses to help them move their cargo across Nigeria and Africa. So we are simply simplifying how trucking and logistics, the informal trucking and logistics sector works in Africa. Because in Africa, over 75 to 80% of truck owners are individual truck owners, while the remaining 20 to 25% are owned by the conventional business owners. So we are solving the informal trucking and logistics solution in Africa with artificial intelligence. And also on our platform, we can, with artificial intelligence also, we can offer finance solution for our carriers on our platform. We use that to monitor their financial performances, and with that we can now say, okay, we can give out some financial assistance for them to purchase more fleet to their fleet. And we also have a fleet management platform too, which artificial intelligence. So we are doing a whole lot of stuff from Lagos, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to meet everybody.
Yeah, Stefan, I have been interacting with a bunch of startups from Nigeria, and I must say Nigeria is going through huge innovation transformation at the moment. So what you're doing is really, really important. And I'm sure Nigeria is coming up really, really fast. So thanks a lot for joining us today. Okay, now we have Gönenç, the superstar of the session today. Gönenç, why don't you introduce yourself and also SmartIR, and then we get into the panel questions, yeah?
Thank you very much, Pankaj. Even I can't introduce myself in a better way. Thank you very much for this distinguished welcome, I would say. And also one more warmest greetings for our panelists today. We will be inspired by your opinions and your insights that you will be delivering, and also the audience, I believe, that are currently watching us will be inspired by what you have done so far and what you support in the ecosystem. As Gönenç, I have a background of mechanical engineering, and since my graduation for like 16 years before now, even going to 17, I had built an experience on spectral imaging and also artificial intelligence domain. And particularly, this is my second startup and building sustainable, safer driving experience for partners in the ecosystem. And this is, and I am the CEO of the company, by the way, on SmartIR. If it is convenient, I will be sharing my screen to just briefly explain what SmartIR is offering to the ecosystem, and also I will be shortly going through what value could be possible as a plus for mobility ecosystem. I think you are able to see my screen now.
Yeah.
As I briefly started, SmartIR is delivering AI-based softwares, which is analyzing the behavior of drivers and the physiology of drivers to analyze the risks relying on the driver driving exercise and also for health concerns. But particularly, we do use computer vision. There is a practical reason why we do use computer vision. This is a very famous learning curve or hype cycle for artificial intelligence that has been introduced by Gartner on 2023, last year. And according to Gartner's estimation, computer vision is going through a plateau of productivity. This is just because of this storyline, I would say. The first idea of robotics have been introduced by ancient Greeks back to 18th century before Christ. And if we do talk about more techniques, the very first understanding of how brain is working and how our eyes are, our vision is interconnected with our brain is going back to 50s. And later on, researchers have been studied on the camera and the vision, which introduces us the first digital cameras on 1975. Then the famous iPhone today have 3 digital camera incorporated into a really small footprint. I think this is solely explaining why computer vision is going through a productivity plateau currently, specifically for artificial intelligence. And particularly on SmartIR, we do go this computer vision and AI junction, and we do deliver a solution set for the problems that are basically tackling to the safety concerns during the driving experience. Just with some key figures, drowsiness and distraction is the main cause of accidents taking place, and over an estimation of 50% of all accidents taking place throughout the year. And also road debris could be one of the major cause of underestimated reasons for the traffic accidents. And on SmartIR, we do introduce a novel human-centric solution relying on spectral imaging and also artificial intelligence. And with using just the camera, we do introduce our solution for vital signs monitoring, which is basically monitoring like a patient monitor, the heart rate and the heart rate variability, which will be hindering the figures for drowsiness, consciousness, and stress for the driver, so that how it works in a real environment. For this, our famous brother, I would say, but we do deliver the actual drowsiness figure, and likewise the mileage you have on your current vehicles, like fuel mileage, battery mileage. We do deliver a mileage for safe driving for this driver by using this vital signs monitoring. And in case there are signs of, let's say, drowsiness by using this heart rate variability, we do deliver a score to just understand fleet managers there will be something risky happening in short, so that we will be we are delivering a proactive tool for fleet and operation managers. And on the road side, it is possible to address the problems by, again, multimodal languages or multimodal approach by incorporating road conditions. Say, in Turkey, we do have both 40 degrees and minus 20 degrees in the same climatic zone, so that on winter time, we may experience icy, snowy roads. Last week, we have experienced that snowy roads in Istanbul as well. So in case there is an issue of icy roads, we may address a risk to fleet manager or even for the municipalities to inform where to act on that, or a debris, which is just due to a failure in freight carriage. And also it is possible for our clients to just monitor the fleets and also the failure modes that they experience. And also on data layer, and also there is this good application of AI here as well, just to consider where to act. Likewise, currently big cities are trying to transform mobility by multimodal approach. So bicycles and buses are operating in the same domain. So in case there is a junction which is problematic, and if we do address where to act as a decision maker to make a reorient or make an action on joints or a cross through the bicycle and bus, that we can highlight where to act. And always, this could be another side of our, say, application. We do deliver a risk report so that the authority or the managers can take an action. So this is what SmartIR had delivered on the mobility space using computer vision and AI. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Gönenç, for this quick presentation. Let's start the panel, yeah?
Yes. So I will just continue where I leave. So I will be standing with a safety-related question. When we do look at the mobility domain, technology and AI are reshaping how we think about mobility. And not just in terms of safety, but also in making systems smarter and more efficient. What do you see as the key opportunities to improve both safety and operational efficiency? And what challenges still stand in the way? Maybe Stefan, you may unmute yourself and deliver your thoughts about the safety and the junction of efficiency on logistics.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So talking about improving the safety and operational efficiency in the trucking. So first and foremost, I would love to start with speaking. I hope you won't mind me if I speak about what is happening in the continent in Africa.
Sure.
Would you mind me to start?
Please.
Right. So so the current state of mobility and logistics in Africa, Africa transportation sector is quite characterized by a mixture of both modern and traditional modes of transportation. One of the basic challenges that we are having in Africa is there's what they call culture shock. Where you are trying to introduce technology to informal people that have been used to doing stuff informally to the drivers. So that's one of the issues that we are facing. While there are pockets of excellence, such as the well-developed transportation networks in the country, many African countries still struggle with inadequate infrastructure, inefficient logistics system, and a lack of investment in the sector. According to the African Development Bank, the continent transportation sector accounts for approximately 5 to 7% of the continent's GDP. But it is also one of the most inefficient with logistics costs, averaging around 15 to 20% of GDP. So how can artificial intelligence help us solve this problem? The revolutionizing of the artificial intelligence. So one thing Logitrack is trying to do, or that we have achieved in the past few years, is trying to onboard these truckers and aggregating them in such a way that they are being vetted while they are being connected to B2B and B2C businesses. According to what Genok shared, I saw some of the tools that we use in our system here for the fleet managing system, where the artificial intelligent dash cams that can monitor drivers' speed, that can give them route optimization, and also enable clients' businesses to have traceability of their goods. So when we started, one of the major problems we happen to try to want to solve is, most times businesses, that's B2B, speaking from B2B perspectives, maybe a driver comes to pick up their cargo, and the supply chain manager is calling and saying, "Oh, Mr. A, where's my goods? Where are my goods?" But with Logitrack coming in, we have made sure that has been reduced, making sure that clients can have 360 visibility of their cargo. And also for drivers, we help them with route optimization, and also this helps in reverse logistics. So with that, one of our vision is also to make sure that we reduce the freight costs. So when we look at the statistics and trends in Africa, looking at the AI adoption, according to a report by Research and Markets, the artificial intelligence market is expected to grow from 1.4 billion in 2020 to 15.5 billion by 2025. Are you following me?
Yes, of course. But particularly, you mentioned one challenge, which is more cultural, but with the acceptance of the new products and also the AI. What would you like to highlight as a challenge in like one tagline, or what is the biggest, say, challenge in front of the AI and the acceptance of new products on the logistics market, in particularly on Africa case?
Okay, so one of the issues that we're having is regulatory framework. A regulatory framework here, and also so that's it basically. Regulatory framework, having to deal with outdated and inadequate regulatory framework can slow down adoption of some of these technologies and some of our business models. So that's one of the things that we're trying to deal with. And also data quality, insufficient data quality and availability and standardization can impair the effectiveness of the data-driven mobility solution that we're trying to create.
Thank you, Stefan. I would like to give some more words. Basically, I would be more specific on these questions is about the challenges more. Sana, would you mind to highlight something that Uber, and particularly on the regional base, Latin America, what particular challenges are you facing?
Yeah, Gönenç, from my perspective, there are 2 points that you touched upon. One is on the safety and second is on the operational efficiency. Okay, so let me pick up one by one. So on safety piece, right? There are different challenges in different segments. When we talk about B2C segment, say for example, Google has launched the self-driving vehicle. Waymo has launched self-driving vehicle, but it was not adapted during the launch, and now they have publicized it on the Uber platform as a ride-hailing product, and people have started adopting it. So, but the way people have started adapting came with a lot of trust issues and a lot of fear factor. And how did Google and Uber tackle that problem? By providing the data. Like yesterday, there was a report that Waymo has published. So out of the first 25 million rides that they have taken, they have seen about 40% of fewer police crash reports. And this stats is from US, LATAM. And they have also seen about 83% of fewer airbag accidents. So this data that we see today is building that trust factor, where we are also seeing public adopting to the innovation or the change. So this becomes challenge to both the service provider and also to the consumer in adapting. The service provider need to kill the fear factor and build that trust. So this is the challenge and the transition that's happening mainly in the B2C segment. Now let's talk about B2B segment. So in B2B segment, mainly there is a commercialization opportunity that we're talking about. Like the project that I am currently leading is Uber is collaborating with Aurora to launch self-driving trucks in the commercial industry. So in commercial industry, which is mainly B2B segment, we see there is a fear of losing millions of dollars if any mishap happens. Millions of dollars either through loss of property, loss of public property, and loss of lives. So there is another huge damage that we foresee. And for that, the lot of pressure comes on the service provider to ensure that the product that we launch and the services that we provide, it meets the safety standards and also the legal standards. So this is the current shift that we are having to tackle the safety problem. And not only that, we see most of the companies today, like entity has partnered with Toyota to build highly safe, zero accident. Sorry, they're focusing on the goal of zero traffic accidents, and safety is one of the prime factor. And there is a company called SkyDrive in Japan that's working on building flying cars. And their goal is also safety today. So these companies, when they're disrupting the market and building innovative products, they are focusing only one major safety, which comes by the quality of the model. So when we talk about 98, 99% efficiency, it's not sufficient today. We should aim at 100% efficiency, because we're talking about the high risk factor. That's on the safety, on how we are transitioning from responsibility on the service provider to building trust in both B2B and B2C segments. Likewise, in the operational efficiency aspect, I see there are a lot of, this is majorly in the commercial space. Companies like Bosch, they are working heavily in building in advanced AI and generative AI, so that they can manage the entire fleet and the freight ecosystem. So we have specific use cases. They have not really cracked the code yet, but still in progress. So operational efficiency today is still a debatable topic, where we are seeing innovation coming in slowly, where we are seeing industry shifting from AI to advanced AI, where AI can take decisions like humans and tell how much savings is happening in terms of, be it fuel cost, be it operational maintenance, be it fleet maintenance, and there are other use cases that the companies are currently exploring. So it's still an ongoing and an opportunity area that we are seeing today.
Very insightful. Thank you, Sana. So you are just delivering the transformation also from explainable AI to fully autonomous AI. So rather, we are trying to, as humanity, to just omit any interaction of human at any instance to make a decision. This is a huge gap we need to just jump over. Thank you very much. Erol Bey, I would like to finalize this question with the opportunity side. What opportunity do you see ahead of municipalities, basically, likewise Istanbul or the big cities? There are many problems about efficiency and safety, but there are huge opportunities as well. So, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Istanbul can be one of the good example for the remaining part of the world because of the population and the traffic density. First of all, we have really geographically a big challenge because Istanbul is connecting Europe and Asia. Mainly Istanbul is divided two parts by Bosphorus. So we need to pass the Bosphorus by the bridges. We have 3 bridges and 2 submarine tunnels. So these are the backbones for the Istanbul actually. When the traffic, especially rush hour time, early in the morning or in the evening time, and especially Monday morning and Friday night, like now in Istanbul, traffic density is reaching even 90% sometimes. So this is our geographically difficulties, but as you mentioned, there are some opportunities for this because first of all, like us in metropolitan municipality, this is allowing us to gather all the data from the citizens and from all over the city by IoT sensors or users of the mobile phones. And this is helping us to create and manage for different purposes with the analytics also to municipal services. Not only mobility part, but also the other municipal services, because the mobility of the people is very important because people is creating an hotspot areas early in the morning, evening, even nighttime. And sometimes I'm making a map of Istanbul, how people is moving. So there are some places which is 24 hours movement there. So 24 hours, there is mobility part. So these are helping us if we can really managing the data of the Istanbulis from all over the sources like mobile phones, some applications, and cameras and sensors, something like that. So this is helping us to offer to our citizens another municipal services, like a little bit marketing definition, but like upsell, cross-sell offers for the citizens actually. Actually, for AI usage, AI optimizes traffic flow using real-time monitoring. And this is allowing us to manage dynamic traffic management in Istanbul and anywhere actually. And with the adaptive systems, it allow us to reduce the congestion at the traffic. And all the municipalities, all the governments are mainly focused on carbon emissions last 5 years, 10 years. So this is also allowing us to manage carbon emissions to carbon neutralizations too. Yes, tonight I have a hat and I will speak with the municipal perspective, not like Sana or Stefan, because we are in another part of the subject actually. But this is a challenge for us to manage really the traffic in Istanbul. When we make deep dive, what are the elements, what are the things which is inside mobility management? Really, as an example in Istanbul, we are seeing this buses because we have one of the biggest fleet management company in the world. So we have buses, we have metros, we have metro buses, we have school services, the other services, taxis, private cars, scooters, motorcycles, bicycles, electric bicycles, ferries, boats, yachts, pedestrians. So I can count like that. So to gather all these users' data and to put them with the people's brain, it's not easy. You cannot manage like that. And we cannot make like that to win too also, how we will manage today the traffic. So exactly, we need analytics and AI for this because this is a huge data. And the biggest challenge of us for now to gather all this data which is related at the traffic management is an issue for us. So it's okay to put on it. AI is good because, as you mentioned last week, there were almost 0 degrees in Istanbul, and in some part of Istanbul there were snow. So we have some sensors on the road which is directly measuring the frozen degrees. So when the weather come to the less than 4 degrees, we are directly warning the drivers there can be frozen threat in Istanbul. So and we know that in which part of the roads in Istanbul is being it is creating a dangerous situation for the drivers because when there is no snow, but if there is a frozen on the road, it is not easily being noticed by the drivers. So this is a mostly call it as hidden ice actually. So that hidden ice, if you don't have even winter tire, because it is a prohibition in Istanbul from 1st of December to end of April, all the cars has to use the winter tires. But for now, we are in November, so they don't need to use it. So if the road is getting frozen, so it can be creating a dangerous for the drivers. So with these sensors, we are measuring and we are calculating, and then directly we are warning the drivers with the digital billboards where the related parts of the road actually, or with the mobile applications, we are warning them that today will be a icy roads threat in Istanbul. So for this part of roads in Istanbul, all the drivers has to be more careful than normal time. So AI helps us actually and creates us the opportunity mainly predictive analytics for safety. This is very important. Dynamic traffic management. This is very important. And I didn't mention, but later maybe I can tell a little bit. For proactive maintenance for the fleet buses also, or the other parts of our fleets.
And thank you very much. Brightful insights from another perspective, I would say. You are on regulative side as well. You are forcing all of us to just rule out how we have to act on mobility ecosystem. And interconnected with this, both three of you all mentioned data is hindering many insights, and AI will be enabling it to just progress and make decisions based on data. Sana did, Stefan did, and Erol, you also mentioned. So I would like to understand how software-defined vehicles will be unlocking to improve the performance and also the seamless experience for mobility ecosystem, and how your companies or the municipality will be reacting to this big major transformation on automotive industry. Sana, you mentioned about your data-driven safety and also your the relationship with your actual customers on B2C segment. How will this transformation affecting your strategy soon?
Yeah, so let me talk about it for the US market. So the company that I collaborate very closely is gonna launch their commercial self-driving vehicle next year, very soon. And so we talk about the launch, but in order to get there, it took 5 years of the work. And why are we actually investing so much on this? Is it really worth it? So that's the first question that comes into everyone's mind, right? So today in US, if you see, the trucking industry is valued at around $500 billion. And the accidents that we see in the commercial space, including loss of lives and loss of property damages, it's huge, massive. Although US is one of the countries where we have very clear and sorted maps and sorted routing system compared to any other countries. Like, I know there are developed countries like China and Japan which also have that, but US has a very clear routing mechanism, and we always get lots of support from the legal to get these innovations done, and lots of support to get these investments as well. Now the question arises, what challenges will we overcome by launching this self-driving truck today? So the first challenge that we will overcome is the loss of lives, which is very, very important, by focusing on the safety first approach. And second is the loss of property damage, because the commercial goods are valued at very high cost, and that is the other objective of running this entire operations. And if we do a little bit of math, I can't really give you the right numbers, but the investment that goes into running 5 years of operations, building the models, engineering effort, and in launching the vehicle, getting permits legally, and also collaborating with other manufacturers in getting customized hardware for the truck. So this, if it is X billion dollars, the value that we see forever, it's 100 times more than this, because once we launch it, it's like permanent, it's just done. So we see the projection cost of savings is very much higher than the investments that we see today. And to get there, it's very, very important. So I am I'm responsible for the quality of the model. Just imagine. So we had multiple test runs in the last 2-3 years where we have seen the model running at 99% of quality, but failed test runs. And we used to have test runs through dummy ground truth objects. like dummy pedestrians and dummy. And then when we see in uncertain scenarios like winter conditions and rainy conditions and night conditions, when we see the vehicle failing, it leads to lots of damages. And to get there to the launch, it's like a huge win to us. So I see there's a massive opportunity where we can save millions of dollars, and at the same time, we can also increase the market. So today, overall mobility market is growing at a CAGR of 13%. Now just imagine, and all of these, say there are 100 trucks, and all of these are human driven. And with self-driving trucks, we can just produce thousands of units, and the commercial space will just boom. And there's a huge market opportunity that gets unveiled just by this launch. So yeah, I think it's worth the investment. And not only this space, I see huge opportunity coming in the flying cars. Like Erol was talking about the traffic congestion, traffic issues in Istanbul. China and Japan today are launching flying cars to overcome these challenges. So if only that becomes successful, so I think we will just get rid of this problem and everybody would be commuting very safely. And then we would save lots of our valuable time and probably money that gets, and if we convert it to dollar value, like I know it just huge dollars of opportunity that we are unveiling with these different launches that we have today.
I was already thinking that it will be creating a huge opportunity, but seeing your ambition about these worlds is changing, and there will be a bunch of opportunities will be unlocking in really soon. And as I said, your ambition is really just delivering how this will be transforming the industry as a whole. But I would like to have a better understanding the perception of the more governmental side and also the municipalities. So Erol Bey, how do you see the change? Also, maybe I can incorporate another bunch of major trend, autonomy. How this software-defined vehicles and the autonomy will be changing cities in the near future. How do you see that? How municipalities or Istanbul will be reacting it?
Yeah, so it highly depends on, so if I have to summarize this, it highly depends on how, what is the data available with you. Like for developed countries, you have the data available. For developing countries, like say India, Nigeria, or Indonesia for that matter, we do not have the necessary data to train the vehicles. And there are a lot of variables so that come in. Yeah, I'm open to other panelists also to share their ideas.
Yeah, Erol Bey, what is your thoughts about this topic?
Thank you very much. One more time. So actually, maybe we can a little bit separate software-defined vehicles and autonomy, because I think still for the autonomous car, we need time to improve in the safety. This is very important, especially for public transportation. For the controlled areas like airports or any other factorial areas, it is more efficient, but for the public transportation, especially for roads, I think we need still more time for getting safety and controlling, because in Istanbul also we have autonomous metros, because this is a controlled areas. So it is okay, but for the normal road connections or management of the mobility on the road with the autonomous cars, at least for Turkey now we have still time, because we need infrastructure for this. We need adaptive regulation rules. These are very important, because mostly, you know, when Elon Musk announced that this car will be on the road, something like that, they directly asked if there is one traffic accident and one people died, so who will be the responsible? So the responsible will be the who is managing this actually. So we cannot accuse someone for this. Because of that, last 20 years, I noticed that technology is beyond of the regulation. So first technology is practicing something, then regulation coming behind of it. So this is one of the main challenge of the today's life actually. For municipal perspective, as I mentioned, for the metros, we are using autonomous metros. This is actually very efficient because there is no delay. Only sometimes there can be small accidents for the last minute passengers, something like, because they are trying to jump into the metro. So this can be a dangerous situation. These are an opinion for the autonomy. But for software-defined vehicles, actually, it is helping, it's allowing people to create their own experiences. So these individual user preferences actually creating a comfort. Even in the metros or buses, we are giving a QR codes for the passengers. So what they want to make more comfortable trip in Istanbul, we are getting all the feedbacks from them. And we have pilot house in the tablet for the drivers in our fleet management cars. So we are also using video analytics and AI there. So for managing the and increasing the safety of the journey actually. So these software-defined vehicles actually creates their own individual user preferences, optimizing comfort, even for the other passengers, creating an entertainment, and it helps them to increase their productivity too. But from the other side, for municipal perspective and daily life perspective, energy optimization is also a very important part because software-defined systems actually dynamically manage energy consumption. So this is one of the key issues. And for the EV cars, it is extending the EV range. We noticed this. And also at the end of this, it helps us to enhance in sustainability for the city reality actually. And also as a municipality, we are following to smart city technologies and smart city concepts. So this kind of data, which is coming from software-defined vehicles or any data-driven ecosystem parts, it is allowing us to integrate all the into smart city technologies. So how it happens, all the vehicles share the data with the urban systems, and it is contributing to for managing us to mobility, like smarter traffic lights or parking systems or public transport coordination, something like that. So this is also one of the key issues from our side.
Thank you very much, Erol Bey. We mostly talked about the cities, but Stefan, I believe your domain is more in between cities, even in between continents. So what do you see throughout this transformation or mega trend which is driving automotive industry and the mobility, both as the transformation on software-defined vehicles and autonomy merging currently? What do you see as a future, and how these technologies will be bringing, what these technologies will be bringing on table for trucking industry?
Okay, all right. So Sana and Erol have said a lot, and they basically said a lot. And when you talk about transportation and trucking, everything is intertwined. Transportation is about moving stuff from places to places. One talks about moving human beings, and the other talks about moving goods. So one of the challenges that I would like to speak about is the cybersecurity threat of SDVs. And I think there should be enough investment in cybersecurity measures. There should be a robust cybersecurity measures, which must be implemented for SDVs from potential hackers. As Erol has said, AI traffic lights, all those stuff, you know. So basically, while I was listening to everything they were saying, you know, I had to pick point, you know, the challenges is very important. When we're talking about artificial intelligence and all that, we also need to, like Sana said, you know, when she was talking about, I think the first question, when she was talking about the need to have 100%, you know, uniformity or something like that, you know. So for the SDVs, the challenges I'm looking at is the cyber security measures, you know, when there are hackers, you know what, we all know what hackers can do, you know, and you know, so a lot of if there are good investment in cyber security measures, which brings robust implementation and that can reduce potential hacking threats. So that's just for me. So Sana and Erol have said everything that needs to be said. So for me, as I've said, is the cyber security measure.
Yeah, many thanks for highlighting this, because as you mentioned, it is also raising concern by introducing something new. Always, some fraudsters or some people may be just willing to join in a bad manner. It is not always creating an opportunity, but some threats. I will be moving another topic, but due to our time is going up, I would like for our panelists to just sum up with my last question to their thoughts about AI in mobility space as well. So I would like to ask, like, creating a smarter and safer mobility environment isn't something any single organization can do by itself or own self. All is like a team, so we have to act in a team manner. How can different players like startups, technology providers, cities, operators, the ecosystem as a whole work together to tackle inefficiencies or improve safety or take measures against these cybersecurity attacks and build trust for each and everyone, for our families? So, Erol Bey, I would like to start with you. And also, as I explained, I would like you to just sum up how, for the feature of AI in mobility ecosystem. I would like you to leave the floor.
Thank you very much. Actually, this is very important issue. In Istanbul, we are running a program which is called as Tech Istanbul for the entrepreneurs and startup ecosystems. And one of the main and key area of us is mobility, because there are so many startups or scale-up companies in Istanbul are working on mobility management. They are creating so many different solutions. So we are trying to gather all the ideas with them, and we are accompanying them with our subsidiary companies or municipal departments. Then we are helping them to realize their idea to product, or improve their product to more efficient in the municipal areas. So first part of your question, for the collaboration with the ecosystem, is one of the key issue for the metropolitan cities, actually. So we always go on as an enabler between startup companies and the investors for improving the new solutions and realizing the new solutions. And also, we are supporting the ecosystem with the open data initiatives. This is very important because traffic data or related data, which can be launched on the open data platform, will help the researchers or the companies for improving or realizing their ideas or their products. So actually, as a metropolitan municipality, AI usage, like you show, Gönenç, hype is going down, but now it is a time for being maturity. So this maturity period, we will use more AI services in municipal services with the more trust. Because before it was like a POC, you know, let's prove your concept. But now there are most of AI services or products. Most of them started to prove their trust. Then it can be used for the public because municipality serves all the citizens, all the services. So this is one of the good things, but one of the most being careful issues for us actually. We cannot put some of the services for trial in municipality. So because citizens are using it. Because of that, from now on, like all over the world, in Turkey and in Istanbul also, there will be more AI usage services in municipal services actually.
Thank you very much, Erol Bey. Maybe I can just highlight one benefit that Istanbul brings for a startup located in Turkey. When we look at the consortium called Forticities in Balkan Peninsula, we do see the most enabled data is coming through Istanbul. Well, we appreciate about it. So there is a platform for municipalities to just upload their state-driven data into one platform, and Istanbul has the ultimate most data collected on that platform, and it is open source. And this open, for the development of new products needs such a transparency from coming through all cities, and I appreciate your vision and your support to the startup.
Thank you very much, Gönenç. Really, you remind this. Maybe this is unique in the world because 9 different cities, 9 different countries, 9 different languages in one open data platform. So this is very interesting actually, which is run by Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sana, how do you think Uber actually started as a startup and you are now enabling other startups? Being a startup, also an enabler, a technology provider, many things, what is the vision of Uber in this collaborative environment? How it will be moving forward?
Yeah, so to answer your question, Gönenç, Uber is now completely moving into advanced AI and generative AI space. So we started with one smaller use case, and once we have solved it, we have seen an opportunity of collaboration and partnership with other startups, where we see each of the startups are trying to solve one specific use case. And that's where I see today all the startups who are trying to focus on solving one specific use case has more opportunity to scale across the globe compared to the companies which have large financial muscle. So I'll explain this with an example, like where I talked about Waymo, I talked about flying cars, etc. But these are launched by the companies who have the great financial muscle and who can also bear the loss, right? But whatever products that they have launched, they are not scalable across the globe. So if Waymo has launched a self-driving vehicle in US, they cannot come and launch the same in India because India's geography is completely different. Adaptability rate is different. The data is different. There's no data available in the first place to train the product itself, right? So those use cases are specific to certain geographies. Whereas the opportunity that we have in the startup ecosystem is like you have started with a deck and where you explained about computer vision and the drowsiness, intelligent drowsiness detecting system, right? So that can be scalable across the globe. And these are the areas where Uber is collaborating with. So we across the globe, startups are solving around 70 plus Gen AI use cases. Say, for example, this is another startup that we have collaborated with, they're working towards intelligent communication system. Say you're driving a vehicle and then you don't feel well, so the car will connect with your emergency systems, so that the necessary information is felt and you necessary information is shared and you receive the necessary support before you meet with an accident, before any mishap happens with you. So these are specific use cases that we're trying to solve today, and Uber is now expanding this collaborative space and partnership. Like you can see, we are partnering, we have already partnered with around 50 plus startups who are trying to solve these dedicated use cases, and this collaborative approach is leading to launch of solutions in the generative AI, advanced AI, not only in mobility space, but also in other industries. So this is where Uber is heading towards in solving specific use cases, also collaborating with the massive giants who can launch the products.
So you are getting more and more acting like a platform for startups to just leverage their ideas as well. So it is good to hear that as well. So I also noticed your comment about our solution. I will be using it in the future.
Yeah. Feel free to visit Uber website. So we have also launched a page open that's open to collaboration for different use cases across industries. So that can definitely give more insights to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, thank you very much. Stefan, as a last word from the logistics market, and also particularly, I am really having your thoughts about what will be the next, because Africa is currently the new young generation, new potential for leading the innovation all around the world. So how is the ecosystem for AI specific and also the mobility domain specific examples ecosystem is moving forward in collaboration in Africa, in Nigeria? Can you please elaborate a bit? You are muted, Stefan. Please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So as I mentioned earlier, the logistics structure, or I say trucking structure in Africa is quite fragmented. You know, it's quite informal. So so what Logitrack is trying to do is we want to make it formal in the sense that we can even allow the government to make predictive decisions on this particular segment of the economy. Do you understand what I mean? So so basically, the African market for trucking and mobility is quite fragmented. So and also according to what Sana said, if you look at in Nigeria and also some African countries, one of the models too that is working now is we have Uber in Nigeria, and they have been able to at least in a point to structure the mobility system in some of the African countries. You know that the model that was there before was, you know, when you need to take a cab, you move from distances to distance to take it. But now with the Uber in-app model, you can, you know, get the you can hail cab to come to your places and all that. So for us, in the logistics sector, as I also said earlier, it is a very fragmented sector. You know, there are so many pieces here and there, where even B2B and B2C, where they need to, if they want to deal. So for instance, when some B2Bs want to deal with truckers, they end up dealing with, so for instance, if you have like a volume of, let's say 1,000 volume of freight that you need to move in a month, are you going to be dealing with 1,000 different truckers. So with Logitrack as a platform, we have aggregated those truckers on our platform. So B2B and B2C businesses can just come and deal with Logitrack as a business, while at the back end we have had those plugins and all that. So there's quite a whole lot. One of our vision, mainly across Nigeria and also across Africa, is to help governments to be able to formalize this sector, and also now help them to make predictive decisions or solutions in this sector. Because one thing in Africa is, as you have said, Africa is a growing economy. I don't know if you know about the African Free Continental Trade Area. I don't know if you have heard that. Have you heard that?
Not actually. Not actually.
So anytime I speak with some of the investors, I tell them that Africa is one of the top and best countries that you need to come and invest in as soon as possible, especially in the logistics market, in the trucking market, in the e-commerce market, in the retail market, in the warehousing market, and in the mobility market. Why? Because of the African Continental Free Trade Area. So what is African Continental Free Trade Area? The African Continental Free Trade Area is ratification of all the African countries, about I think 60 of them. I think about 50 have ratified. So this is a ratification document that we allow all the African countries to trade with each other without barriers. So before, there was barriers in trading with for instance, if I'm a trucker cannot move into, let's say, from Nigeria to Ghana or to Cameroon freely and all that. So, but with the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, that can happen seamlessly. So we as a startup are positioning already for that, for that market, and we are helping African economy to make sure that all the fragmented truckers are aggregated on a platform. So when decisions want to be made, when whatever needs to be done, we can offer them data and say, oh, this is data that we have, and this is same thing that is happening in fintech. I don't know if you heard about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, a particular fintech startup in Nigeria became a unicorn. That's MoneyPoint. So, which they are trying to structure the unbanked. So that's what we are also trying to do here, making sure that all the so there are opportunities in the logistics sector, and which we are solving with AI and all that. You also know that AI is quite capital intensive and all that. So, but we are making do of what we have and all that. So basically, Africa is a big market with over I think 2.4 billion, 2.4 billion citizens, and with large possibilities and all that. So just look at the scenario where you have an aggregated logistics or trucking platform where someone can shop whatever from Ghana and transport to Nigeria seamlessly and effortlessly, repetitively across different countries in Africa. So the logistics, same thing with mobility, So so there are so many stuffs that even the government in the country is doing now to make sure that different mobility sectors are being aggregated. Like we have the Lamata, and that's the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Network. That aggregates that aggregates public transportation and all that. So there are so many opportunities to take advantage of in Africa.
But you are highlighting in order to make it like leverage, we need to empower these efforts by making data democratized, or leaving the borders, or just removing the borders and going through a borderless, say, act on to improvement of AI and also the ecosystem enforcement and so on. So you are more talking about democratization of resources for startups or the initiatives to move on. Thank you very much for your invaluable insights. And also I would like to thank all of the panelists today for their brief and also very deep insights delivered for the ecosystem of AI and mobility domain. And thank you very much for Pankaj to co-host this event on behalf of EthAum. And I leave the floor to Pankaj.
Gönenç, thanks a lot to you. I think you made a mistake. You made a mistake by scheduling this session for only 1 hour. I think we could have done this for almost 2 hours or so. I could see the passion that Sana had, the interesting insights that Erol and Stefan had. I think this is just fabulous, and I think we could create such sessions with such insightful conversations every now and then. So again, thanks to all the panelists. Thanks, Gönenç, for your moderation today, and I hope we can reconnect again and see how we can explore synergies, help each other in different initiatives, and then take it from there. You're already working with Erol Bey, so that's amazing. Sana talked about all these amazing initiatives at Uber, so we should definitely connect with her. And Stefan, definitely, there is so much going on in Nigeria. Why not we talk to Stefan and see how we can collaborate? Yeah, so thanks everybody. Really appreciate your time and talk soon. Take care. Bye. Stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everybody.